Frick yeah, dude, that's a beast. Little king. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Nice. This one, I'm excited to get more. Son of a fish, dude. Look out. Let's go! Let's go! Oh, yeah. You did this? Wow, look at this. Here he is. Oh, yeah! Look out!
Okay, and what we're going to be going over today in the first part of the video is salmon season at 6th Street and Tippy Dam. So, you fish these two places similarly, but also different. So at 6th Street, mainly you're going to be sitting bait at the dam, and at Tippy, you're going to be mainly bottom bouncing at the dam. So at 6th Street and Tippy, I'd recommend this 9.6 medium ugly stick carbon. I would not take an Akuma Guide Pro Select or any rod, any nicer rod. I've broken a lot of rods, especially at 6th Street, off of on snags or on hooking a sturgeon and breaking your rod, or from someone casting into your rod and snapping it. So these ugly sticks are practically invincible. They have literal metal guides, and they won't break. So this is what I recommend. And the reel I recommend is this Piscifun Carbon X. It's like basically a $150 reel for only 65 bucks. It's really a lot of reel for the money. And then for line, we're going to be going with braid. I'd say 20-pound braid main line. They can go up higher to like maybe 30-pound, but it isn't really necessary. I mean, I've caught kings at 6th Street with only 12-pound main line. It doesn't really matter. And kings and co's aren't really that line shy, so I mean it's all personal preference. And then so the rig we're going to be using is just going to be a simple three-way snap swivel rig. So you get your three-way snap swivel, so your main line, so one side, and then your weight to the snap, and then your leader to the other side of the three-way. And then the weights I like to use at 6th Street and Tippy are these half-ounce cannonballs. You can buy these in bulk. Half ounce, 160 each. It's really because you're going to be snagging off a lot, especially at Tippy when you're bottom bouncing and you get into a bad spot, spot with a lot of snags. You're going to be snagging off a lot throughout the night. Sitting bait at 6th Street, not so much, but there's still snags there as well. You know, and then so for our leader, I recommend a 15-pound leader. Seaguar stuff, any stuff. I usually use Berkeley Vanish just because it's cheap. But I mean, anything, you know, to each their own, whatever you want to end up getting. And then I'd go never cheap out on your hooks though. I like to use these Gamakatsu octopus hooks. I like to use size 2 at 6th Street for sitting bait, and then probably a size 6 or a size 8 at Tippy when you're bottom bouncing. So the bait we're going to be using at 6th Street are just simple cured salmon eggs. You can cure your own, and there's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to do that. Or you can purchase them online, Sunrise Bait. I've also purchased them from places on eBay with good success. But so a lot of people there will be fishing flies, egg flies, or beads. You hook a lot of fish, you know, you'll snag a lot of fish when you're doing that, but when you are fishing with bait, you get a lot more actual bites, and you practically don't snag fish. It's all bites when you're using bait pretty much, because the hooker isn't really exposed, it's deep in there in the bait. So the bites are almost sometimes at 6th Street, when you're sitting bait, the bites are almost going to feel like a bluegill or like maybe a little trout. It'll just be a little kind of a peck, and then you just set the hook and little peck turns into a big like 15-pound king. It's really an experience, to be honest. A lot of fun. And then so at 6th Street, the way you're gonna get down there is you're gonna be fishing a line of people pretty much. So you're just gonna walk up into the line, and if you can get a spot, and you're just gonna sit bait right in front of you. Honestly, I've caught fish like literally at my feet there, just casting not even a foot in front of me. But then you can get up a little closer to the dam. Depends on the day, depends on how high the water is. You just gotta go and experiment. And then for Tippy, we're not gonna be sitting bait. We're gonna be bottom bouncing, and I would not just use straight eggs when I'm bottom bouncing at Tippy. I would be using about quarter-sized spawn bags. Simply enough, the eggs are gonna come off your hook after about three drifts. Bottom bouncing is a lot rougher on your bait. So I just tie them into quarter-sized spawn bags, and then those bags are going to last maybe 10, 15 drifts. So make sure you tie up, I'd probably tie up about 30 or 40 bags if I'm going to go and fish all night. Um, but I mean, you'll figure it out. It's a lot of fishing is just a lot of experimenting. And then when you're at Tippy Dam, in September, this whole line here is going to be lined up shoulder to shoulder with people. Tippy Dam 6th Street is really combat fishing, um, and everybody's just going to be bottom bouncing this maid run. Um, and the bite is gonna so a snag is just gonna pull your line down slowly when you're bottom bouncing, but a bite is gonna feel almost like a rubber band in your hand. Kind of like it's like it goes down and then and it comes back a little bit, just like a rubber band, like a shake in your hand, and then make sure you're paying attention and you set the hook. Most people go and fish Tippy all night. You can also catch them bottom bouncing during the day. To each their own, it doesn't really matter. I've caught them during the day. I caught them at night. At 6th Street, I mainly fish during the day. Um, and yeah, that's how to fish Tippy and 6th Street at during salmon season.